Hey my friend, in this lesson I'm going to teach you a concept that you probably underutilize when you make your own music, and it's to disguise a chord into another chord. For example, if I play this, your reaction is probably, hey, I know this chord, this is a D major. And you're probably right, if I played the open fourth, that would be a D major. But if I don't play the open fourth as the bass, this triad can actually be other chords if I play different bass notes under it. So if instead of playing a D, I played a B under it, now suddenly this little triad is not a D, it's a B minor 7. If I go further, if I played, let's say, a G under it, so that's not a D anymore, that's a G chord with lots of extensions. If I played an E and I completed the chord, now I have a beautiful E minor 11 extension that started with only a D. And it's just a matter of introducing different bass notes and different harmony behind it. We always think about stacking triads and stacking extensions on top, but we can actually start from a triad and stack at the bottom to create new sounds. So someone who doesn't use this concept and starts from a D chord right here, it's probably going to make a sound that sounds like this. Like, it's like static and boring, but if I use the same concept here and I stack at the bottom, it's gonna make something like this. Which is way more interesting, and it's even easier to do if you're playing high up on the fretboard. Let's say I take a little triad like this on the 11th fret, so I'm just borrowing the 11th fret from the 3rd to the 1st string. Your first reaction is probably, hey, that's probably an E flat minor chord, right? It's like the borrowing from the 11th fret, like this, but I just keep the upper portion of it. And this very well could be an E flat minor, but what if I add different bass notes? What if I add this? If I add a B, you say, hey, you thought it was an E flat minor, but it's actually a B major 7. And we can layer that multiple times. So now if I add, for example, an A flat at the bottom, once again, it creates a beautiful A flat minor 9. So hey, you thought it was a B major 7, but it's an A flat minor 9. If I go further, so juicy. So now I have an E major 9 sharp 11. Hey, you thought it was an A flat minor 9, but it's an E major 9 sharp 11. We can go for a long time, but we have the limitations of guitar. We could do that on a keyboard and go super, super low. But it's just to tell you that I started from an E flat minor, and I ended up having an E major chord from the same triad right here. So if you utilize this concept more often when you make your own music, you can actually start from something super simple, like a simple melody or pattern or little motif, and create something super extended and juicy in the harmony of your music. So I'm going to use one of my own songs as a study for the rest of this lesson. It's my song called My Deepest Secret, and you're going to see what I do with a little small melody and motif, and what I do after that to make the harmony more interesting in the song. So if we look at the little pattern or melody, we have this. So if we only look at the shapes we got here, we have this chord which is made of A, F, and D. So it's a D minor chord inverted. Then we have an A sus4, and then we have an A minor with an added ninth. So if I wanted to take only the information that I have right now to harmonize the song, it would sound like this. And it sounds boring, right? It sounds too static. When I started the song, I wanted to set a mood, and that's why it was like mysterious and staying in place a little bit. But now I can do much more with the harmony of my song than just staying static with the chords. So it's time for us to disguise those chords into something else, right? So if I take this and I add a different bass note, if I add a D, for example, it's just a regular D chord. And it's just more practical to play it like this. So I could play a D minor on top of that, and when it goes to... Instead, if I played a C, I would have a shape of a C6-9. Which could sound great on top. And then the little thing that goes, it makes me think of the movement of a G sus4 that goes to the third of my G, right? So I could actually play a G9 sus4 that goes to a regular G9. So instead of having my so I disguised this A minor at 9 into a G9 sus4 into a G9 after that. And even if I want more variety, instead of going again on a D minor, I could choose a different bass note. I could go for F, which would create an F6. So you see the principle. I'm keeping my melody or my motif. I just change the bass notes under it. And sometimes it's going to be by trial and error, trying different bass notes, and it creates different kind of chords, and it makes the harmony go somewhere in your song. So now instead of sounding like this, it's gonna be way more interesting if I play my new chords, my disguised chords on top like this. Even at the end here, like in my melody, it goes... It sounds like a super long static A minor chord, and I play an A minor chord and then I play a G at the bottom. It's like it still works to me like it's a G6-9 sus4. Like it doesn't make sense on paper to add a G at the bottom of an A minor chord, but in the context of this song, I think it works. So you gotta use your ears, and now it's a super colorful song that is not static. So it's a great principle. So what should you do now? Just take simple triads that you know and try different bass notes under it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to understand all the theory and all the extensions that it makes. You can go by trial and error, try different bass notes and disguise chords into different things like we did here by starting with an E flat minor and then B major 7, A flat minor 9, E major 9 sharp 11. So it's your turn to explore that concept. If you want to go further with me and learn chord shapes like these, this is exactly what I teach in my free course on spread triad chords. You can click on the first link in the description box below. In that course, you have 45 minutes of video lessons on spread triads and how to master them all over the fretboard in all keys and all shapes. And you can download the exercises, the chord charts. It's super valuable. If you're new here, you can totally click below on the first link in the description box and take your free course. Once again, thanks for watching and see you on a new video real soon. Until next time, au revoir.